I am. I'm the prize. I'm
So
not.
this guy
I'm not bringing anything to the table because I'm the guest of honor.
So the guy with
Oh my
not
God.
a lot of
Red
resources
flag.
or almost no resources, he can assist your business by doing a bunch of legwork for you, but he essentially gets zero out of it, right?
Yeah.
He gets to be with me in my presence.
But is he with you?
Yes.
He's just in your presence.
I think
But are you
men
hooking?
don't get to
Well, are you
experience me
hooking
like
up?
that.
Are you hooking up with that bum? Are you
We
gonna
are
hook up with
doing-
that bum?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna hook up with him?
If I love you and you continuing to support me even when you have zero money, because when I get with you, you gonna have some money. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
You mean when you hook up?
See? She says she's the prize, but she expects you to bring the money to the table because she's the prize. And she expects you to have the money. Yo, we are cooked. Oh my
Help
God.
him.
No, when they ask me for my information, I'm not gonna get with a bum, period. But if they ask me for my information and I got them and they're very driven and they got a job at the very least, but then they have no job, I'm gonna stick it out because I see that they were there
Got it.
when they had
Okay,
it.
now I think we've established a floor base. So to get with you,
Yes, you
what's
have
the minimum amount for that?
She
There
said 120.
isn't one. You just gotta have like I
Well,
said.
there is a
probably
minimum
1,000,
one. Wait,
probably
there has to be a minimum one.
Probably 1,000.
You have to 1,000 what?
You said on excursions like food, nail hairs, like I feel like I said 1,000 already. Like that, like you asked me like what was everything overall like in a month, and I said like $1,000 or a
Okay.
little more.
Yeah, he gotta be able to pay that 1,000 bill she spends on herself. She's a sugar baby.
Cause yeah, and like I'm on my feet a lot as a model, so I like to get foot massages and other things. So it's like, if I'm going and I already scheduled, he could just pay for his and he could come with me, and I'm not gonna expect him to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's like a mutual respect. But at the end of the day, I want you to be a man. I want you to
To
Have
pay.
money.
yeah, I want you to
But how
want
much-
good for
but-
yourself.
but how
If I
much
got money, you
But
won't
how-
have
but
money.
how much money? Should he have at least as much money as you?
Eventually, if you are on a path to have more money than me, that's valid. Because you
What if you're on
don't
a path to
start
have
at the
less
top.
money than you?
No.
We might have a discussion about.
So you do want your guy.
Yo, I mean, the truth is, it's gonna cost you. That's what really Andrew is trying to display here. I think that's why he keeps asking her questions. He's trying to show her how delusional she is. But there are guys who are willing to pay that $1,000 a month. So I could see why she thinks she's worth $1,000 a month just to be with her.
To end up making more money
Yeah,
than you.
yeah.
Okay.
But right now, it's not super important. It's still hella young. You know what I'm saying? So
And
we
these-
still got
and-
time to learn.
And these men get the
grow.
luxury of being in your presence and helping your business.
Because she's the prize.
And coming to things with me. Like I've done like a lot of events, and they just get to come with me. You know, whoever I'm with
Can I
at
ask
the
you
time.
something? Like, let's say that you like are your parents both married?
No, my mother is married now, but they're divorced.
Do you know your father pretty well?
He's a kinda.
Kinda.
Yeah, I'm his firstborn daughter, so he kinda.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But he's not really around too much. Okay.
That makes sense. Her biological father is not really in her life. So that could be one of the reasons she is the way she is. I'm not saying it's the only reason. I'm just saying it explains why she has the kind of mindset that she does.
When did that happen?
Young, like probably
Really
like
young?
6.
So basically, your
7.
mom raised you.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Military mama. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so even the mom wasn't that around, because if she was a military mama, she was doing trips, whatever, deployments. So the dad was not in her life from the age of 6, and the mom was in the military deployments. So who was raising her? The world was raising her, and the world has told her she needs a man who's willing to pay her $1,000 a month to be in her presence because she's the prize. Do you see the cycle of the lack of a two-parent household that it does to us out here? I'm just being honest, to both men and women. Because in her case, that's her case. But for a guy, for a boy, usually it's the jail pipeline, you know?
What branch?
She's in the Army sergeant.
Did she move around a lot?
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how that works,
Yes,
right?
it
Different
is.
stations.
Military brat.
Yeah, military brat. Okay. Did you go overseas?
Not with her. No. She just did. Yeah.
Okay. So, but just backing up, does your mom have male friends who've been like a part of your life for a long time?
Yeah. They're not hella around, but she has a husband, so it's like.
Do you have a good relationship with him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if he was sitting down, right, with his son, would you advise his son to date you?
I think if you're dating.
Well, I mean, do you think he should advise his son that he should date you if the son's like, Dad, I'm looking for the right girl.
I think that's weird.
Sister?
I'm kind of in the middle of different things. Let's say you weren't related. You just know him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you just know him, right? But would you, if he was telling his son, right, to date a woman like you is what I'm asking.
I think if you have the means to date a woman like you, because a lot of the time the men who are bums and don't have no money, don't have a car, they're just trying to have sex. They're not trying to look for a relationship. They're not
There are
looking
men like
for
that, sure.
And you think the men who have money are not trying to just have fun? That's crazy.
Yeah. And they're
But that seems
very
a lot.
much
But
here.
doesn't that seem like it's way easier than getting your fucking coffee and promoting your business? And
As a man, that could be your
and
opinion.
then spending thousands of dollars on you in the hopes that maybe something will happen, rather than just going, I would just smash if I can, and then find a woman who's way less work than that.
I
Yeah.
don't think so, because I have a lot of goals and I'm very driven.
Yeah, men don't care.
Yeah,
about
but those goals don't benefit the man. Because at the end of the day, the goals that you have, you are still expecting the man to come and invest in those same goals. So he's not benefiting from them.
goals. They don't care about your financial
Yeah,
goals.
they do.
They
care.
don't.
They don't give a shit.
See, this is what she talked about,
Real
generalizing
guys
things.
care, which
Yes,
majority
they
of
do.
people need two incomes
Men don't
to make
really
a house.
care.
A lot of men want to be stay-at-home
Listen,
dads these
No,
days.
they don't.
No,
Yes,
they
they
don't.
do.
No, they
Most
don't.
people marry in the same socioeconomic status
Yes.
that they're in.
That's true because that's what women will marry. Is at
Yeah.
least a man
Well, I think
who
it's
is
just
within
proximity.
the same socials, or higher. They usually marry up, actually.
But he's
I'm just
confident.
talking about people in general, not
Yeah.
women, not men.
I'm not
Most
dis-
people.
But this
Most-
makes my
and I think
point.
that's
Households
This
are
makes my point.
two-income
This makes my
households.
point. And nobody's disputing that either.
Yeah.
Both of these make my point.
So they do care if they can't
They
afford
don't
a household.
care. Listen, the man.
No, they don't care. It just so happens that when they're interested in a woman, because they have to raise kids, it is just logical that if the family relies on his income, the income won't be enough. Plus, they usually find the woman working, so most women don't want to give up their careers. So what happens? They get married, the man continues working, the woman continues working. So they rely on both their incomes. It just happens like that.
And the man themselves don't care that much about women's economic goals. They don't care about them.
If they can't afford rent and
Then
they want a
why-
family, then yes, they
Why are they
do.
not marrying poor women?
They do.
Well,
They
we
do all
just
the
agree
time.
that the majority marry the same.
That's
Rich
not
men
true. Okay.
marry poor women.
But you contradict yourself here because you say they marry people based on proximity. I agree. They marry people
Yeah.
based on proximity.
No.
Usually the people that you're going to meet are going to be at like work.
Sure.
Yep.
They're going to be in areas like this. So they're probably going to be making around the same amount of money that you do. But men do marry poor women, especially rich men marry poor.
Well,
hang
I
on,
mean-
marry poor women all the time. Women do not marry poor or rich women don't marry poor men, and women of good high social economic status, they usually still marry up, not down.
That's facts. I don't know why they just can't seem to understand. They really want to believe that men care about the woman's money. But when a man sees a woman, the first thing he thinks about, oh, she's pretty, I'm attracted to her. The second thing is she available? When a woman sees a man, okay, he looks good, he's well dressed. What does he do for work? You know, okay, I can talk to him, but what does he do for work? So in fact, the conversation is going to be, what do you do? What are your goals? What are your ambitions? Those are usually the questions the woman fires up to the man to find out if he's good long term for stability. Anyway, guys, shout out to whatever. Shout out to Andrew. I don't know why Brian wasn't in the cut, but I'll put down the link below to whatever podcast.